What's up, boys? Dan here with another video. Today we're going to be looking at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers roster and seeing how they're going to be the next year. Obviously, same exact roster as the year before. Nothing has changed. They brought back every single starter. Man, this team is just not fair, to be honest. As a Packers fan, I'd like to say we're the best in the NFC, but man, I just you just can't compete with the roster like this. So obviously, Tom Brady at the helm. Let's just appreciate the quietest 4,640 TD season that I've ever seen. Brady literally threw 4,640 TDs, and no one cares. He's second in TDs, third in yards, and literally nobody like in all the fantasy drafts for next year. He's like top 12, top 11 QBs, when he should really be probably like top 6 or top 8. I know we all love the rushing upside of people like Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson, but like, dude, these numbers are nuts. I mean, we don't really have to talk about Brady. Brady's obvious, but moving on to the running back situation, just my thoughts on this real quick. I think Leonard Fournette is the best of the three. I don't think that's a hot take or anything. I think he's the most complete, and I think he has the highest upside for fantasy purposes. This is how I view it. Leonard Fournette is the RB1 slightly. Ronald Jones is going to get a lot of touches. It'll be about equal-ish in touches, but I feel like Fournette may get the goal line work because he proved in the playoffs last season that he was more viable on the goal line. Playoff Lenny really came out. I'm sure Bruce does not forget that, and he's going to like to have him back at the starting job. The problem with both these running backs is that Giovanni Bernard is going to be taking that like LaShawn McCoy role from last year, but like even more. And LaShawn McCoy didn't do that much, but there was a couple third downs where they tried getting him involved as the pass catcher, and we all know Giovanni Bernard. That's about all he can do, but he does it pretty well, and he hindered Joe Mixon for all of his career. Joe Mixon was never an insane pass catcher on the Bengals. I know he has the talent to do it, but he just hasn't been able to because Gio takes all the passing downs. We saw last year with Rojo and Fournette that they both really can't catch. They have nubs for hands, and every time Brady threw it to them, like 2 yards ahead of him, they would drop it. It was really sad. I think Fournette is a decent pass catcher, to be honest, but like I don't know what it was last year. When he was on the Jags, he was good. When he was on the Bucs, he was just a better runner. But I think this is how I break it down. If Fournette gets injured, I think Rojo is like a median running back. But I think if Rojo goes down, Fournette is where he was last year, like one of those like top 10-ish, probably not top 10, probably like top 14-ish running backs. I think he does take a big step up. I think he'll get about 14-ish targets or touches a game. Rojo will probably get about like 10 to 12. Gio might get like 4 or 5 targets a game. Probably more than 3.5 to 4. But yeah, so I think Leonard Fournette is the best option. I don't think they should be using Rojo or Bernard as much as they are probably going to. But that's just how teams run it. Now for receivers, this is the interesting part. When they were all playing last year, AB, Chris Godwin, and Mike Evans, when all of them were actually playing, that was like week 9 and beyond, or week 8 and beyond, they averaged just about the same amount of targets. Godwin was about 7.25, Evans was about 7 flat, and Brown was 6.73. And that was with Brown, like, just, his first few games, him and Brady were completely not on the same page. But we saw towards the end of the season, he had that 115 target, like 13 catch for 180 yards and 2 TD, like blow up game. Clearly, he still has it in him. There's no doubt about that. And then in the Super Bowl, he just route ran the shit out of Tyrann Mathieu. He crossed him up. So when we're looking at this receiver group, we see Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, like on Underdog and on DraftKings, getting drafted about like the pick 41 to pick 47 range, like somewhere in there. I think their ADPs are like 41 and 48.4. They're very similar. And then there's AB sitting down at like 95, 98 range. I think just for sheer value, AB is the obvious pick. I think that all of them are going to have their weeks. All of them are going to have their bad weeks. Brady can't throw 10 targets to each of these guys every single game, right? He likes to throw to his running backs. He likes to throw to Gronk. He likes to throw to Cameron Brate. They're not all going to get 10 targets, but there will be games where each of them has 10 to 12 targets, like separately. I do think, obviously, best value is AB, but the best overall receiver for this year, I like, it might also be AB. I'm not even going to lie. Like, they're all just so even. It's just, I don't know about you guys. Like, maybe you guys can tell me in the comments who you value as their best receiver, but they're all so good at what they do. Chris Godwin's just a beast over the middle, and he showed against the Packers and some of the games before that that he has the deep route ability. He was actually pretty nasty later in the season at the deep routes. He did have a dropping issue towards the end, but hopefully that's fixed. Evans obviously is the TD guy on this team. He's just mossing people in the end zone. Probably going to put up another double-digit TD season. He always gets his 1,000 yards, can't count him out. And then AB, just that more chemistry with Tom Brady. Like, talent-wise, AB's obviously the best receiver here. It's just if the Buccaneers want to force it to them, because they have the ability to spread this ball out as much as they want. You know what I mean? They have just all the talent everywhere. They don't have to just make AB the 1,700-yard Pittsburgh Steeler he used to be. They could just make him like a 900-yard and like 5 TD guy. I think for projections, I think I had him about 1,000 yards, 8 TDs, something like that, like 92 receptions. He had like a very good stat line, like pretty much exactly the same as Evans and Godwin. I think I had Godwin I had Godwin at 250, Evans at 249, and AB at 244. So like super close. Then we got to go to TE tight end, obviously. Rob Gronkowski. I think he'll be better this year than he was last year, and he was actually fine last year. When we let's go look at Gronk real quick. Just click on any of these best balls, draft a team, and edit the rankings. Tight ends. I just want to see Gronk real quick. Gronk had. Now this includes playoffs, so let's take about 100 yards off this. He had like 600 yards, right, and 7 TDs in the regular season. That's not terrible. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Why don't I just click on this guy? Why don't I just click here? Yeah, 623 yards, 7 TDs, 45 receptions for tight ends. Like, that's not bad at all, to be honest. And I think just him and Brady, you saw in the Super Bowl, they have that crazy chemistry that I think is just gonna come back from New England. And it's like, this offense is going to be uber efficient. Brady's going to be throwing about like 34, 30, probably anywhere from 34 to 36 times a game on average, I'd say. And it's just going to be like, I wouldn't be surprised if he had some 90% completion games, like some absolutely ridiculous stat games where he gets subbed out at like halftime and he has 4 TDs, 300 yards, that type of shit. This team is just so stacked roster-wise. I know that's not a shock to any of you guys, but like, let's just take it in. And now, for the most probably underrated part of this offense is the O-line, who, if we look at PFF's rankings for last year, was the 5th overall O-line, with Tristan Wirfs being the 2nd best right tackle. I think it was the 9th best overall graded among tackles. Just an absolute beast, man. Ali Marpet, one of the best guards in the league. And then we'll take a look at this year. What do they got? Tampa Bay again. Sorry, this is actually mixed up, but they got Tampa Bay at 5 for both years. This O-line isn't going anywhere. They brought back every single starter. It's just going to be good. Brady's going to be getting the protection he needs. He's going to have all the time in the world now that it's another year. You know, the main thing that we always talk about with O-lines is chemistry, right? To bring back all 5 of your starters with Brady, with these receivers, with Gronk, man, this offense, whatever it wants to do, if it wants to run heavy, if it wants to play like 2 tight end sets now that OJ Howard's coming back or Cameron Brate, or if it just wants to air it out deep like they did with Jameis. Like, anything works. Literally anything. Moving on to the defense. Now we're going to have a full season of Vita Vea. He didn't play all of last year. He played like only a small bit of last year. He is the reason that running backs average like less than like 3.2 yards per game against this defense. If you have CMC, start him against this defense. If you have any other running back, I mean, like Dalvin, I guess, maybe Saquon, but like, dude, this defense, like, holy shit, against the run. If you have like a normal guy like Chris Carson or like an Eckler, just bench him. Just bench him. Like, I'm sorry, this defense is too good against the run. And now, as we saw against the Chiefs and everyone towards the end of the year, they made the pass defense just as good as the run defense. Bringing back Antoine Winfield Jr. Why couldn't I say that? And Carlton Davis. Oh my goodness, they really came alive towards the end of the year. Bunting, Whitehead, everyone is great. And now, like, arguably the best part of this defense, the linebacking core. JPP, Devin White, Levante David, and Shaquille Barrett. Like, holy sacks and holy fumbles and interceptions. And oh my God, I can't even rave enough. Like, this defense, obviously on paper, best in the league. Offense too, probably on paper, best in the league. Like, what more can you say about the Bucs? I think the Saints are going to be tough this year. So that's the only thing in their way, really, to be honest. So if I already gave my projection or my record prediction for the Bucs in my tiers list video, and I said they were going to get 12 to 13 wins, I believe, out of 17 games. Obviously, I think re-looking at it, it's probably more likely to get 13 to 14. I wouldn't say 15. I think 13 to 14. As we know, like the Patriot way, it seems like the Buck way last year, where it was like they start off a little slow and then they just destroy down the stretch. That's just how Brady is with all his teams. Like they kind of come in slow, but then like he gets them in shape by the end. So I do think they'll suffer like a couple quick here, losses in the beginning. Maybe they'll be like 5-2 in the first 7 games, and then all of a sudden they're just going to go on a rampage, go like 14-3. So yeah, that's gonna do it, boys. That's gonna be the Bucks video. I think this is the best roster in the league. I know a couple of videos ago I had the Steelers as arguably the best. This is the best roster in the league on paper. We can't really deny that. When you bring back all 23 guys, all 23 starters, there's no denying that. If you guys liked it, leave a like, drop a comment, let me know what you think. Let me know like if there's any team you think on paper has a better roster. I I honestly can't think of any. Chargers are good, Steelers are good, but like nothing's the Bucks. Sub if you're new around here. I think we're at 145. Let's go, boys. Hit the posted noties so you can get all our uploads. And yeah, I'll see you boys later. Peace.
I can never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right.